Welcome back to Mascot Media Video YouTube channel. My name is Gilbert Angonye. My job is to make the web development simple and easy for you in this generation of IT so you can start and finish building your web project. If you value this video, enable to give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. It goes a long way to growing our channel and to make sure that you never miss out of any new updates.
Alright, today we are taking a look at attributes. So let's jump to it. We'll consider HTML attributes, HTML5 attributes. That is what we are taking a look at this tutorial. So I try to get my page on. I will say HTML5 attributes. In my head to HTML5 attributes. In my head to have a HTML5 attribute. Alright, I don't know how to explain attribute other than to tell that an attribute is a piece of markup language that is used to adjust the behavior or the display of an HTML element. We have studied elements. We saw all kinds of elements in HTML5 or in HTML. You know what they do. So what we're saying here now is that attribute has a function, and this function is to change the behavior of an element. Which means if an element is lying down, you can tell the element to stand with the help of attributes. The form, the shape, the standard, the original position of an element can be changed with the help of an attribute, and that is what we're considering today. Before I go far into explaining what an attribute is or not, I want to show you something on the page here. If you take a look at this page, there are things you see. Look at this HTML. Look at this lang, which is language. Here it is English. The character set, the HTTP equivalent, the content. Let me expand this. The content, the name, we'll have the content again. All these are attributes. You've seen them, but you don't know what they do. They are doing something that is very, very important in web development. Here, you see the lang, the language. You may not understand the function of this lang. This lang is very, very important. So, on why we declare language in HTML, it is important for accessibility. This lang you see here is important for accessibility applications. When we're talking of accessibility applications, we're talking of screen readers and search engines. Search engines use this lang. There are people that are blind, people that are visually impaired, illiterates, and people that have learning disabilities. They use this lang to help themselves. Here, the other attributes here, which I've explained in some of my tutorials. But in details, I would like to tell you that attributes does something great in HTML. Sometimes I begin to think what or how HTML will look like if there is no attributes. But what you should know is that in the explanation of attributes, have to be very careful not to carry out double exercise. What do I mean by that? All the attributes that we discussed in this tutorial, in this section, belong somewhere in upcoming tutorials or chapters. Like form, there are attributes that are used in form. Table, image, media, that is audio, video, there are attributes that are used in them. So I need to be careful not to run them down here, explain them here, only to go there and use them, because when I get there, I must explain what they do. So I need to be careful not to explain them here. If I go there, I will also explain it. I don't think it will be necessary trying to do that. But I'll give you light here. Any attribute you see here will come across it somewhere. So it will be better I explain them in details where they are needed. We don't need anyone here. We just want to show you, see what we call attributes, see their names, see what they do. So I will not go in details here, but I will touch some of the ones that would normally see in web development. If you go to image, the attribute there will have source, will have title. Then when we go to media, the audio video, we'll have a source too, we'll have title, we'll have this, we'll have that, we'll explain them. So I need to be careful not to have a double explanation. Okay, I would like to go into form. Form, as I click it, we have the first one there, which is called action. It's an attribute. When we're talking of attribute, let me explain this. Well, attributes. We have property attributes and value attributes. Value attributes. Property attributes and value attribute. The word here, action, is a property attribute. Then what's all put inside here is the value attribute. Hope you get that point. It's good you get it because along the line, I'll be using property attributes and value attributes. I wouldn't want to go into that. It's attributes. The action, the word action is an attribute, but there's something that's supposed to go into it. Probably you have an index.html. That is the value attribute. Here, we have another thing, method, post. That's the value attribute. Method is the property attribute, while the value attribute is post. Then inside this form, I have my input. I'm trying to show you some, what they call it, attributes. I want to show you some attributes. I'm not going to form, just want to show you what an attribute is. We may not need the browser too much in this title, but I will still use it if just need for it. So here we have type. The type of input we want to do, I put here, is a text. Then we'll have another one, name. What name? Probably username. Then we have another one, ID, username. Let me take this placeholder, enter your username, enter your username. Now you have seen property attribute and the value attribute. That's what you need to know. If you didn't get anything, let it be that you get this property attribute and value attribute. Let's look at the browser and see what we'll get. Okay, let's open this in a live server so it's easier for us to see. Right at the browser, you can see enter your username with just the element. We don't have anything meaningful. Let me remove the attribute and see what we'll get. This is what we'll get with the element. But there are things. If we get a PHP, you then realize that we can't do anything without the attribute. It's the attribute that is positioning everything the user is putting where they belong to. The attribute is very, very important in web development. So we have something like a property and value. If you need any property attribute, please also try to know the value attribute. Is very, very important. Property, please do that correct. So there are other property attributes and the value attribute that will be given to you, but I need to stop there because, like I said, by the time we get to form, anyone will put will tell you, see, this is what it can do. Anyone will type will say, this is what you can do. We'll try when we get there in form, in table, in all the rest of them to make sure all possible attributes in HTML, we'll make sure we put them in their sections. Then we'll explain them very well. Then it will be easier for you to understand. Or if we bring them all of them here, I don't think it will be good for my teaching. I don't think it will be good for my teaching. So let me not bring all. But I've shown you that this is an attribute, this is a property attribute, and this is a value attribute. Let's say, for example, I am in image. We have the SRC, that's the source attribute. We have the auth attribute. If there's an image, this one called source attribute will show you what you are looking for, the image you want to display, where you can get it. That's what it does. Then why this alternate is responsible for, if the image is not seen, somebody is here to tell you, say, look, this is the person that's supposed to be here. If the image here, let's say we have a abc.jpg and it didn't show, and the browser did not show, you have to tell them that it is abc image that is there. So that if it did not show, for example, now if I save this, let me put some break. I don't want to go into details model here. So here, the image did not show because there's no image in my folder that is called ABC. So it didn't see it, the browser did not see it. So what the browser will do is to look for who is in the alternate attribute. It's ABC image. It will just display it, telling the user, look, this image is not shown, but whosoever is supposed to be here is ABC image. And let's say, for example, I have an image that showed. Let me see if I have an image in the right source. I should always have. If I go out, do I have image there? Yes, I have image folder. Image, okay. I can see. So let's save. You will see that this ABC will disappear. But meanwhile, let me make this so as it will HTML5 logo image. The image have shown. What about the size? I'm not here to talk about the size. It have shown. And that ABC, that alternate will not be shown. The next we see, let me remove it. Let's try to not block what I'm doing. When I remove it, saw what happened. It showed me what is in the title. So next we see in this very attribute or image attribute will be title. Title, if I mouse over this, if I refresh this and mouse over it, nothing is showing. But let me put something in title. And what I put in the title is ABC image, ABC IMG. Let it be different from the other. If I mouse over it, you see what will happen. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in so it'll be easier for you to see. So that is what title can do. So let's go back. Having seen that, I think I have to go. There are other things we'll see. When we get there, as we say it, then we'll explain. We can go to Anchor. There's something I want to show you. Before we go to Anchor, let's say we have we'll go to Anchor. Now we have href. I want to show you the difference between this href, this hypertext reference, and the source. Source points you to where a particular image is, what you're looking for. Here, that's what it does. It tells you, look, this thing you're looking for, see where you can get it. It gives you direction to where that thing is. But this href does something. There's something. Let's say we have index. Let's say we'll go out now. We'll go to any of these folder. We'll have index here. Any of them. We'll have index.set. Okay, index page. Href takes you somewhere, while source brings something from somewhere. Hope you get the difference now. We have source in image, we have source in audio, we have source in video, and some other places will have source. Anywhere you see source tells you or directs you to where a particular thing is, whatever you want to show the browser, where it can be found. But href takes you to a particular thing, a particular link, particular site. That's what href does. So that's the difference between source and href. They are all attributes, property attributes and value attributes. There are types of attributes. There are other examples of attributes: style, lang, chart set, content, hypertext reference, title, type, name, ID, pattern, placeholder, required, autofocus. There are a good number of them. They are all attributes. When you use a very good text editor, like this one I'm using, you see this text editor. Look at it, they all have the same color. To show how important they are in HTML. Look at elements, something like form. There's a color you can see. The BR tag, the IMG tag, the A, even when it is one letter, the P, the H2, the body, see them, they have a particular color. That blue color they have. Anything you see on this page that have blue color is an element. You don't need to tell anybody. You don't need to ask. Don't need to question. Don't need to ask whether it is or not. Anything that has that color is an element. Then look at the attribute. There's a color. Look at the type. Look at the name. Look at the ID. Look at the placeholder. It has a color. Anything on this page that has that color, they belong in one place and their name is attribute. So depending on the text editor you are using, if you are getting confused whether that thing is an attribute or not, they have the same color. If you're using a very good text editor, they all have the same color, and it will be easier for you to know the property. And the value attributes are the same. They have the same color too. Check the value attribute here. Username, text, post, index, username, ABC. Check all of them that have this color. They are the value attribute, while the other one is a property attribute. They have the same color. Elements have the same color. Attributes have the same color. The value attributes or the property attributes have the same color. Value attributes, they all have the same color. That's to tell you how important they are in web development. And you don't ever joke with them. If you know an element, that's good. If you know an attribute, if you know a property attribute, you also have to know the value attribute. Most times, the text editor will help you. The moment you write the property attribute, it will help you to locate the value attribute. What I promise you in this channel is that I am going to explain every single attribute, their functions, what they do, how they can affect the element, what we can use, how we can use them to get what we want in web development. That is what I'm here to do for you. And I promise you, I'm not going to disappoint you. I have to stop here. If there's anything I've not touched, which you come across, and you cannot handle by yourself, please drop it in the comment section. I promise you I will handle it squarely. I'll handle it the right way. I will handle it in a way to benefit you. If you have any question, if you have any confusion on anything I've handled, please drop it in the comment section, in the comment box. I will help you to sort it out and we will get through it. Having gone this far, thank you for following me. This is our channel, Mascot Media Video. By name, I am Gilbert Angonye, presenting this very thing to you. It's my pleasure to have you here, and I'm happy you have gone with us up to this level. If you value this tutorial very much, please enable to click that like button, share to friends, and don't forget to subscribe. These are things that will make our channel grow. Like I always say, this channel is new, but I tell you that whatever we're teaching here is not new. But we are trying to put it in a better place, the better position, so that you can easily understand what we are doing here. We are teachers, and we are teaching. we're presenting the best to you, using the best approach, an approach that will make it easier for you to follow in what we're doing. That's what we can solve for now. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.